Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you come to my channel. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing my February unwrapping TBR. Yeah, so let's just pick, we're picking 14 books because I am buddy reading. If you didn't know, I will have it linked up here and down in the description. I am doing a year-long buddy read with Princess, my best friend, over at Castle Library. Go ahead and check her channel out. Yeah, we're doing a year-long buddy read. And for that book, I will let you know in a second. So I'm going to be picking 14 books off my shelves. So let's just do that. 14 books, right? 14. All right. This is hard. Okay. We're gonna pick this one. So this is one. Let's go with this one. Sure. Oh, let's not go with that one. Oh, yeah, we are. 2. 3. This one's kind of open. I'm gonna close that badly. 14. That's how many I need to pick. 12. All right. 13. And one more. 14. There we go. I picked 14. Okay, so I wasn't recording and I pretty much unwrapped pretty much all of the books. So you're not going to be able to see my reaction for them. I only have 3 books left. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you the books that I plan on reading. And I'm not going to give you the description for them. Or I'll give you a short description. So yeah, let me just show you all the books that I just freaking unwrapped. All right, so I unwrapped Francesca Simone Smash It. This is about a girl named Liv who is done letting her insecurities get the best of her. So she does what any self-respecting hot mess of a girl who wants to smash junior year does. She smashes it. Bam. This is by our fellow peer, Francesca Simone. She is a booktuber. This is her debut novel. There was some drama around it, but whatever. I'm going to read it and form my own opinion about the story. If you don't believe me, also, here's all the wrapping paper. Yeah. Next, I unwrapped Sorcery of Thrones by Margaret Rogerson. And this is essentially following a girl named Elizabeth who works in this library and she wants to become the warden of the library and ward off evil monsters. That's kind of all I know about it. Wouldn't it be nice if I already did this? Next, I unwrapped A Crown of Wishes by Roshani. This is the second book in I want to say it's a duology. I know there is a short story novella for it. The first one is A Star-Touched Queen. And this is following a girl named Maya. Maya lives in a kingdom where she is seen as cursed. And she just wants to be like a scholar. She just wants to be left alone, but no one really likes her except for her father. So her father, who is the Raja, ends up marrying her off to a kingdom that will help stop the rebellions. So yeah, and that's kind of all I want to tell you. That the love in this, I'm so happy to get sent back into this world because the love between her and the king, Amal, chef's kiss. So if you haven't checked out A Star-Touched Queen, go ahead and check it out. Right, and next is Temper by Nicky Drayden. And this is essentially following two brothers who are twins. One of them has 6 vices and the other one has 1. And essentially the brother who is Ubin is essentially the one that has 6 vices, and he has to deal with being branded as not being good enough. He is the inferior twin, whereas his other twin has 1 vice, and it is to bring him good, healthy, happy life. Well, his brother is like, I'm not cool with that. So he is going to set his own destiny, essentially. It's science. If I remember correctly, I want to say this is a short fiction. I wasn't gonna say I thought it was science fiction. It might be, but I'm not sure. This was the cover by. All right, next I unwrapped Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the duology Six of Crows, but this is also following in the universe of the Grisha verse. Whatever. So I would highly recommend to read the Shadow and Bone series first. It is a trilogy. So that you can actually learn about the magic. People say that you can read Six of Crows without reading the Grisha or the Shadow and Bones, but I don't recommend it because honestly, you don't understand why certain characters hate each other. You don't understand the magic, and you don't know who, like, you don't even know who Santa Alina is. Like, trying to, like, I get it. This is a different part of the trilogy, but I would highly recommend reading that one first if you haven't already. The first one is like hard to push through, but the second and third are really good. And obviously you know who the Darkling is, and like, why would you not want to read about the Darkling? But yes, Six of Crows is essentially following, I believe it's 6 characters. Mainly Krasbrecker. He is the leader of this gang who are essentially like thieves. He gets presented this really big ticket prize to break into the unbreakable kingdom that has never been broken into. So he rounds up a great little crew of mischief characters, and they decide to create a plan to break into this unpenetrable, unbreakable kingdom. Is it gonna happen? We don't know. Read Six of Crows. I'm gonna find out what happened next. Next, I unwrapped Crone of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. This is essentially following a girl, Selena. She is one of the top assassins known. She was captured and was in prison at this mine. Well, the prince comes and gets her because he wants her to be his champion in this assassin's race for the king. The king doesn't trust her. Some interesting characters, some very interesting love interests, and you get to see her be the badass assassin that she is. And that's kind of all I'm going to give you. This is, I believe, a 6 series So, all right, next is Whole Life by Robert Seethaler. And this is a translated work, and I believe it's pretty much set in the mid 20th century and told with beauty and tenderness. It's a story of a man's relationship with an ancient landscape, of the value of solitude, and the arrival of the modern world, and all above of all moments, great and small, that make us who we are. So I'm pretty sure this is kind of like a self-reflection book told by a man and out in nature. So I got this at the dollar store. It's a cover by. All right, and then the next book that I unwrapped was Mall Unbound by Astrid Saeed, excuse me. And this is following a girl named Amal. She essentially wants to become a teacher, and she ends up offending people in her Pakistani village and gets punished to become a servant in one of the pretty much the family that owns all the power. And if people want change, Amal is going to come together with all these servants to go ahead and create that change to get the Khan family from having power over this entire small village. This is also a middle grade story, and I'm very excited to get to this. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things from a few people that have read it. I do believe this is one of Kayla's from Books and Lala's favorite books. I don't want to say it's her fave, but this is a book that she really enjoyed, so I'm excited to get to it. All right, the next book that I unwrapped was Flame in the Mist by Renee, Ahdieh. This book is following a girl, Marquio. It's following this girl named Markio, and she is essentially living in this world where, let me just read it to you. The only daughter of a prominent samurai, Markio has always known she'd been raised for one purpose and one purpose only, to marry. Never mind her cunning, which rivals that of her twin brother, Kenshin, of her skills as an accomplished alchemist. Since Markio was not born a boy, her fate was sealed the moment she drew her first breath. So, at just 17 years old, Markio is sent to the Imperial Palace to meet her betrothed, a man she did not choose, for the very first time. And yeah, so that's what it's following. And last time I checked, it's about how this clan ends up coming and killing her, I want to say her father or something like that. So, and she obviously ends up going on a different route and a different journey. I love Renee Ahdieh. She wrote The Wrath in the Dawn. I love that. She wrote The Beautifuls. I love that. So I'm super excited to get to her earlier works. All right, the next book, which is one of the most long running books on my TBR, is Incarnate by Jodi Meadows. This is following a girl who they live in a world where when a soul dies, it gets reincarnated. Well, when she was born, there was a soul that didn't actually come back. So she is deemed as being cursed. So her mother believes that nothing good can come from her, so she keeps her secluded from the world. Well, she wants to find out, is she actually a newborn soul, or what is wrong with her? And she goes into the heart of the city. Well, things start happening in the city and everyone thinks that it is her fault. And she just wants to know, is she the one to blame? All right, the last one before I get into the last three that I have wrapped is The Vanishing by Astrid Scholte. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her last name properly. This book was kindly sent to me by Penguin Teen. This was a 2020 release. So I definitely need to get to it. I'm glad that I unwrapped it. But I don't know what The Vanishing Deep is about. It's about a girl. It's about a 17-year-old girl named Tempre, who was born into a world of water. With only a few islands remaining of the great waves hit centuries ago, Tempre spends her days diving, scavenging the ruins of a bygone area for anything of value. But it's not food or shelter she wants to barter for. It's a life. And that's it. That's all I'm going to read. I'm excited to get to it. Obviously, like I said, I was kindly sent this by Penguin Teen. I am a Penguin Teen influencer. So, yeah. Let me know if you've read this already, and let me know if it's going to be any good. All right, also labeled number 1. Woo! I actually am excited to read this. So, there's that. That is The Silent of Six, the first SOS thriller by E.C. Meyers. This book was talked about. Hold on. There it is. Okay, so this book I actually found by Naya Reads and Smiles. That's her channel. She's so adorable. Go ahead and check her out. This was recommended. She talked about this book and I was like, ooh, that sounds really good. And it says, what is the silence of six and what are they going to do about it? These are the last words uttered by 17-year-old Max Stein's best friend, Evan, just moments before he kills himself after hacking into the live streaming presidential debate at their high school. Haunted by the unforgettable image of Evan's death, Max's entire world is upended as he suddenly finds himself the target of a corporate government witch hunt. Fearing for his life and fighting for his own innocence, Max goes on the run with no one to trust and too many unanswered questions. Max must dust off his hacking skills and maneuver through the dangerous labyrinth of underground hacktivist networks, ever-shifting alliances, and virtual identities, all the while hoping to find the truth behind the silence of six before it's too late. Bam. First of all, I love hacker books. I read Little Brother by Cory Doctorow. And that was also a hacker book that had to do with, like, you know, the government, and oh man, it was so good. So I know I'm gonna love this book. So I'm so excited to pick it up. All right, and lastly, whatever this is. All right, that is The Crown Game by Evelyn Sky. This is also, I believe, a duology. Vika Andreevna can summon the snow and turn ash into gold. Nikolai can see through walls and conjure bridges out of thin air. They are enchanters, the only two in Russia. And with the Ottoman Empire and the Khazid threatening, the Tazir needs a powerful enchanter by his side. So he unites the Crowns game, an ancient duel of magic skill. The victor becomes the imperial enchanter and the Tazar's most respected advisor. The defeated is sentenced to death. That's all I know. All I need to know. This also sounds oddly close to. Okay, I'm not comparing at all. I'm just saying. And I Darken by Kristen White, which is one of my favorite series. Honestly, I love it so much. It's underrated. I don't hear too many people talking about it. It did come out a while ago, so I understand. But hers is also dealing with Russian themed. I don't even want. Yeah, it is kind of Russian themed. And then the Ottoman Empire as well. So I'm really interested to get to this now. I didn't even know that. I just knew it had something to do with like the Russian Empire. So I'm super hyped to get to this. All right. So even though we had a little hiccup, you know, with me not actually pressing record, don't come for me. Yeah, these are all the books that I'm going to be reading in February. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are super excited about it. So yes, that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books, channels, and videos that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine that you didn't come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.